and I commend it to the House.
The Honourable Mary-Ann Street.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. I'd like to contribute briefly to this third reading of the South Taranaki District Council Cold Creek Rural Water Supply Bill. I have only recently got onto the Local Government and Environment Select Committee, but I speak on this bill because the area that's covered by it is part of my old Turanga Waiwai, and therefore it is important to me. I just want to make 2 points about the bill. Clearly, the purpose of it is to transfer or to specify a process by which the South Taranaki District Council can transfer the Cold Creek Rural Water Supply Scheme to Cold Creek Community Water Supply Limited. And that means that there will be some security around the provision of water, not only to farmers in that area, but as I understand it, an emergency supply to the Opunaki Township itself. There are 2 objections that I've heard to this bill, Mr Speaker, that I would like to dispose of. One has been the cry from the Māori Party that iwi have not been consulted, and I would like to draw the Māori Party's attention to Part 2, Clause 5 in the bill, which says specifically, it spells out the transfer process, which includes the holding of a referendum conducted under Section 9 of the Local Electoral Act, using the first-past-the-post system, so it's got to be more than 50% of the votes cast. And the Council complies with the provision and the process as long as they have consulted on the proposed transfer with, amongst other people, every iwi authority in relation to each iwi whose rohi comes wholly or in part within the scheme distribution area. In other words, all iwi whose rohi is affected by the delivery of water through this scheme. And so, in order to get to a referendum, the South Taranaki District Council has to have demonstrated and reported on and made publicly available in a balanced and timely manner, the legislation says, the results of consultation with every iwi. The second thing I'd like to say, Mr Speaker, is that I'm very puzzled by the party that wants to rule by referendum finding opposition to this piece of legislation. If one were to follow New Zealand First's logic, every piece of legislation would go to referendum, but which would be a crazy way to run a country. But when the opportunity for a referendum by local communities to vote on whether or not this particular water scheme should be transferred to ownership by those who will be using it, then it doesn't seem that that is sufficient. So I'm puzzled by that. Mr Speaker, the Labour Party supports this bill, and I commend it to the House.
Thank you. I call David Clendon.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I just want to add a few comments to those made.